Barbara, Lisa, Nanette, how are you? Good to see you. Lynn, how are you? How is everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me see if Cloud Hub Underdog. Good to see you. See if everything is working. How's everybody on this Friday? Fridge obsessed. How are you? D, how are you? All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm taking it that YouTube is up and running. Yep, there it is. Hey, Chessie. Hey, Rue. Good to see everybody. Hey, Caesar. Share if you will. Prophetic. You. Invite your followers in if you will, and then we'll get started. Okay, let me go ahead and invite over Cloud Hub and also Parlor. Hey, Patrick. Good morning. How is it being in the land down under? Except it's not really the land down under. It's just underground, I guess. Okay. One more, and then I'll have it. Yay. Okay, here we go. Let's get started. All right, let me just read a little bit from Psalm 41 and then we'll get started. Blessed is he who considers the poor. The Lord will deliver him in time of trouble. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he will be blessed on the earth. You will not deliver him to the will of his enemies. The Lord will strengthen him on his bed of illness. You will sustain him on his sick bed. I said, Lord, be merciful to me. Heal my soul, for I have sinned against you. My enemies speak evil of me. When will he die and his name perish? And if he comes to see me, he speaks lies. His heart gathers iniquity to itself. When he goes out, he tells it. Amen. All right. Good morning, Sissy. Good morning, Loretta. How are you? Barbara, good morning. I want to show you something really quickly. This is what I've been working on, and I just thought I would share it with you. If I can get it in the camera. Can everybody see this? I'll probably drop it. I know it's hard to see. This is a wall swag, everybody. This is for Christmas. And good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, Monique. You can hang this on your wall. Thank you. Stephanie said gorgeous. Robin said beautiful. Very nice, Renee. Elisa said beautiful. Good morning, Loretta, Chesney. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, this can go above your mantle. It can go above a picture. It can go on the wall by itself. It can even go on your door if your door is protected from the weather. So thank you. Sissy said very beautiful. Sue said, wow, gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it can go above. It can go on the mantle, Monique. But you have the ribbon. The ribbon's supposed to flow over it. Um, as long as you don't get it on the mantle itself. April said, beautiful. Thank you so much. Love the frosted berries. I do too, Stephanie. I do too. It's so wintry, to me. If you're interested in that at all, just send me an instant message. Get in contact me with some way. You're so talented, Sissy said. Thank you, Sissy. How wide is it? It's about this wide. I would say about 12 inches with the ribbon and everything. I can give you, if you're interested, Monique, just so talented, Susan. Thank you, Renee. Just give me contact me some way, right, Monique, and I can give you the whole dimensions of it. I think it's about 32 inches long, actually, somewhere around there. I know, frosted berries. I know. He's snapping to it. But anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. Also, I wanted to let you know. Listen to what I'm saying. On Monday, we are going to have a guest on. This is a speaker that I spoke with yesterday. I want to start bringing you, hey Lee, I want to start bringing you different people on if I can, from time to time with different topics to talk about. I want some real life stories of what's happening out there and how people are being impacted. And so the person that I'm bringing on is, my first account was wiped out. So the person that I'm bringing on is a woman who runs a pregnancy resource center. So basically, these are the people when you don't want abortions, right? You come to them and they will help you through the pregnancy and all of that type of thing. So it's a very positive thing. The lady that I'm speaking with and going to bring on, this is from Tennessee. No, don't worry, Rue, I won't. Uh, she's a Christian, very wonderful to talk to. We talked briefly on the phone yesterday. So here's the thing, though. When I bring her on, I won't be on Periscope on Monday. Okay. So everybody on Periscope is going to have to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe there and hit that bell for notifications. Because when I restream it out, as you know, Periscope is not allowing me to restream out. They've disabled my ability to do so. And the only way I can have her on and everybody see it at the same time is for her to come on Restream. And those people are Facebook, YouTube, and D Live. And so I need for you to go over to YouTube. It is, look up Susan Knowles. You will see two Susan Knowles, but you will see my picture. You'll know that's me. Go ahead, if you will, today, subscribe over there, hit that notification button, the notification bell, so that on Monday, you'll be ready to go. Now, if nobody shows up on Monday, it's going to be very embarrassing because I've told this lady how amazing everybody in this group is and how welcoming they will be. I'll be there. I'm always on YouTube as well as Periscope, Robin said. So, and if we don't have anybody that shows up, I probably won't do this again because, Sally on the way to the dentist. Sally, sign up over my YouTube channel today, if you will. What time on Monday? It's going to be the same time, Monique. It's going to be the same time as I come on Monday. It'll just be a show that we do with this lady and asking her questions. Now, I hope that you will also have questions for her. Hey, Bonnie, good morning. I want you to be able to answer questions and get in. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie said, we won't let you down, Susan. Thank you, Stephanie. I want you to be able to ask her all the questions you want to ask her as well. Whatever that question is, ask her because, that's the time. I will be there. Thank you, Lee. Thank you. Thank you. And I think it's good, hey, Paula, that we can start bringing on more people like that. And people from all different walks of life is what I want. People that are like genuine people, true stories. I just don't want political figures all the time. That we can do that. We can turn on TV anytime and see those people. I want people that have a story to share. I already know everything, Ruth says. Well, that's good. Is it the same YouTube that I was seeing you on before? Yeah, it's the Susan Knowles channel. That's the only one I have. Other than a craft one, but you don't want to go there. Hey, Rocky. So please be there, ready to go. I might come on a few minutes early on Periscope just to remind you to go over to YouTube. But there will not be a show on Periscope on Monday. It will be on YouTube. So I hope everybody is looking forward to that. Now, I want to ask somebody to do me a big favor. Be here Monday. What am I being here for? Just jumped on. Well, Living Grace, we're going to have a special speaker on. I do what craft channel? It is the Spirited Crafter. That's where I put all of my stuff. And I don't have a lot of stuff there because I started out kind of doing that and sort of went over to everything else on different channels. But I have a request right now. If somebody who is on YouTube would just for a moment take that the link that I just put on there. Is it a site? Which site, Kim? It's the Susan Knowles channel that I really want everybody to go to for Monday's speaker, Monday's guest. But on that link that I just gave you, on that you can see on Restream, will somebody please click on that? And I want to bring you on live just really quickly because I want to make sure that this feature is working. And I'll just have you on for a second. I want to make sure everybody can hear you. Now, anybody who's over on Periscope, you're not going to be able to hear them at all. So, okay, whoever wants to do it, go ahead and click on that. And let's see if I can bring you on. And then we'll, get going. But somebody please do it quickly so I can bring you on. I know it's on camera, but you can put a mask on, put sunglasses on, whatever. If it asked me if I wanted to open in Safari. I don't know what that, you'll have to have a camera. You'll have to be able to come on and do that. Hey, Lisa, good to see you there. So anybody who can do that, and I can have you on to see if this works, that would be great. Okay, there we go. Stephanie, you're so cool. All right, Stephanie's on. Hold on one second. Oops, let me try to bring you on. There we go. Oh wait, I lost Stephanie. Chelsea, how are you?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can barely hear you, and I don't know why.
You can barely hear me. Well, I did baptize my phone on accident, so.
Okay, somebody else is coming on. Hi, how are you doing? Hey, Melanie, good to see you. I can't hear anybody at all. Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay. I can hear you just a little, and I don't know why that is. Why would I not be able to hear you too well? Because I got volume up and everything.
I have my volume all the way up.
Yeah, I have it all the way up. Okay.
Is that better?
All right. Well.
Can you hear me now?
Stephanie said, she opened in Chrome. I don't know. Okay. So what I'll do. Oh, here's somebody else. Hey, Monique. I can have up to like 10 people on one time.
Hi, guys.
I just can't hear Carolina. Figure that out. So I'll do this. I won't take up any more time, but I know this part works. Now I've got to figure out how to get the audio, and we'll have to do that. Maybe somebody can come on later and do that with me, and then we can get audio. But thank you guys for coming on. You're turning your camera.
All right.
Thank you for coming on, and we'll catch you later. Oops, there we go. There we go. All right. Now if I can, how do I get everybody off? I have no idea. Well, I can get you on, but I can't get you on. Okay. All right. So there we go. And I'll figure out later why I can't hear people. All right. So they are faint to me too. Yeah, James, I'll work on that today. And I don't understand that, but I got to get this finished and get that working absolutely before Monday. That's for sure. Message me later and I'll help with it. Okay. Living Grace. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Monique. Thank you. You'll go ahead and just click yourself off. Thank you. Not sure how to get everybody off once I got you on, but I've used this function before and it worked great. But for some reason, the sound just now, and everybody was saying they have a hard time hearing it too. Will you be on Cloud Hub too? Yes, Bonnie, I'll be on Cloud Hub on Monday. It just won't be on Periscope. This should be an occasional thing, James said. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So if I can't get this to work, that will really suck. Okay. So anyway, all right, let's go ahead and talk about last night. I think that President Trump did better in this presidential debate than I've ever seen him on anything, in any type of debate or anything like that. He was very calm. He was very presidential. He was great. I mean, you can't say anything else other than the fact that he was so great. I'll be around this afternoon and over the weekend if you need to test. Thank you, Monique. Thank you. He was very reserved. He let Joe kind of, hang himself, and then he would speak, and he didn't get out of control. Stephanie said, absolutely. He was calm and gracious. And, he worked hard to pull himself in. He did. You could tell that he did. Somebody talked to him. A lot of us were saying he needs to tone it down. Don't attack Joe. Don't throw things at him, because you want to get your message across. Awesome debate. So glad he didn't jump in as much. I am too. It was only kind of near the end that he was kind of jumping in. And if you notice, the moderator, I will have to say, she was the best of the moderators that they've had over a number of years. Although she had her issues. Number one, you could tell she was biased and a lot of times. Number two, Joe would make comments while President Trump was talking, and she would never stop Joe. She would also interrupt President Trump, and then she would let Joe speak. And for as long as he wanted to speak. Joe was very flustered towards the end. He was. Joe was very much He got frazzled near the end. You could see him getting frazzled. You could see also that Joe he was losing it. He was tired. He said poor boys instead of proud boys. He at one point Joe's microphone was not muted. Nope, it wasn't. It would never was muted. And every now and then it sounded like they muted Trump. They gave him a quick mute, and but it allowed him to finish up. But Joe had as much time as he wanted to, and when she would say we need to move on, he'd keep talking, and she'd let him keep talking. At one point, he was looking at his watch. When he kind of said that President Trump said he was President Lincoln. I have no idea what that was all about. Joe was on something that seemed to wear off as the night went on. Bayman said it did seem like as time went on, he went down. But at that one point when he made that statement about, when they were talking about Kim Jong-un and he was talking about Trump's friends, he said, at one point Hitler was a friend. I don't know. I don't think Hitler ever was a friend. Maybe that's what Joe thinks, and maybe Joe was there. Maybe Joe knows. But I don't think Hitler was ever considered a friend to America for any reason. But, I guess, whatever, Joe. So that was kind of weird. Good morning, Robin. Everybody coming in a little bit late, you'll want to go back and watch the replay for a message for coming up for Monday. Let's see. Now, for me, I kept noticing that he was looking at his notes, and he must have had notes. He would look down, he would kind of read, he would still get confused, but he looked like he was reading. Never, if anyone, pretty sure. Yeah. So that was kind of weird. And then he tried to dodge that whole Hunter Biden stuff. Looked at his watch a lot. Yeah. And I don't know why he was looking at his watch. I mean, but I guess he was wondering how long things were going to be before they wore off. I don't know. But at the end also, Jill, came and hugged him, and it almost looked like he was seeking her approval. Did I do well? And it was sad. It was kind of like this elderly, frazzled old man, looking for some approval, or some child looking for approval. I don't know that it was. I'm saying that's what it appeared to be to me at the end there. Absolutely, he was calm and gracious. Stephanie said, keep the faith, Leo. Trump, yay, yay. He let Joe finish his thoughts, which was empty. Stephanie said he was compassionate, even with the moderator. Yeah, he was the best. She was the best out of many. She had follow up for Trump, but not Biden. I'm glad she let Joe talk. His concentration was bad. It was very bad. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. Sherry said, good morning. How are you? He looked like he was reading a script. Yeah, he wasn't. I noticed he kept looking at his watch, maybe an Apple Watch. You could see the drugs were wearing off, Chezzy said. Apple Watch, maybe you can get text messages on them. Well, could have been. I don't know. Hey, Sherry, could have been doing anything. Hey, Twin Crier. For those coming in late, please go back and watch the replay at the end about a special message for Monday, if you will. I also think, he was trying to avoid the controversy with Hunter Biden about the whole laptop and the guy that had what was his name? Let me see if I have his name here. The CEO, the former CEO of the company, Bob Ulinsky, Tony. And so Joe said, that was just Russia disinformation. Everything's not Russia disinformation, but they've certainly used that enough times that I think their people actually believe it. Going to go back and see what his watch looks like, Barbara said. Joe brought up the fact that President Trump had a China bank account, and that was brought up in the media before Joe brought it up. And basically, President Trump said, I, like a number of people back in 2013, before I ran for president, was looking to do some business with China. And then I opened the account in 2013, and I basically closed the account in 2013. So that didn't help Joe much. Joe also, gosh, I think one of the worst moments for Joe, two bad moments. One when when he said that he wanted to get rid of oil, the oil industry. And he said, yeah, I want to transition it out, over to solar and wind. I'll, remember Solentra didn't work too well. And so even Welker looked at him and said, why would you want to do that? I think she stopped herself, but even she was incredulous. Like, you want to get rid of oil? I mean, do you understand how many people work in the oil and gas industry? Crazy. And I think he's like, well, yeah, I want to transition that out over time. You've got to be crazy. Russia was conditioning and gaslighting people prep for 2020. Yeah. Always with the Russia stuff. I like when Trump asked Biden about oil and gas. The answer Biden gave was pure gold for Trump. Yeah, he just hammered that nail into his coffin. Stephanie said, we have nothing to replace oil with. Yeah, we do, Rue. We have wind and solar. And Joe, he's not for the Green New Deal, although he is for the Green New Deal. Also, when Trump was asking him, saying, why have you never gotten anything done? You had all these years. You've been in Congress, for 47 years. You've been with vice president under Obama. Why did you? Yeah, oil and gas, 9.5 million jobs. Barbara said, "Oh, is that all?" And so he's like, "Why haven't you done anything?" And he looked at Welker and he said, "We didn't have the Republican Senate." And he just kind of looked at her, and the silence in the room was deafening. And he had this look on his face like he had just done something wrong. And she just kept looking at him, and he said, "That's my answer." And it was like, wow. Okay. Can you believe can you believe one Congress thought Trump was talking about real? Yeah, I'm going to get to that in just a minute. So, I mean, a lot of stuff. One major volcanic eruption and solar is useless for a while. Yeah, well, we found out with Solantra, with all that what Obama was trying to do, it didn't work. Yeah, and he did throw Obama under the bus, Barbara. He did. And then Joe's like, hey, you know what? We don't have Obamacare, but we're going to have Biden care. Holy crap. Can you imagine what Biden care would be like? Seriously? Look how much Trump has accomplished during an impeachment, COVID, and Russia. Exactly, Stephanie. Exactly. You got to have a volcano first. Well, you could have a volcano. We do have them. Good morning. It's good to be able to listen to you again. I pray God will really bless you extra for all the truth you bring. Thank you, James Powell. I appreciate that so much. So many things that he said were crazy. And then we got on to the subject matter of illegals. I don't know if you heard Joe. He said he wants to make 11 million people in this country undocumented, which means illegal, right? I mean, he wants to make them citizens. Hey, Brian, good morning. So you base your beliefs and no, I have beliefs, Lion. You have yours. I have mine. So anyway, he wants to make all the people who are here in this country illegally, he wants to make them legal citizens. And so obviously that is for the Democrat Party to bring in more voters for themselves. And then he talked about DACA and he wants to give them, 11 million people. And even the people, they always think they know the Latino population and they know exactly what they want. The Hispanics that I know in this country don't want illegals coming here to be citizens because they know it will take away opportunities from them. And those people who came in here legally and worked their way up. Didn't just say he wanted to get rid of the oil industry. Yeah. Yes, he did. I was just saying that before you came in, Rocky, I think. He wants to transition out of the oil industry totally and go to wind and solar. That's what he wants to do. And that spoke volumes. And that's a good thing where President Trump just stopped talking, and let him talk. And then he basically destroyed himself. Rocky, make sure you listen to the replay because it had a message for Monday if you weren't here for that. So anyway, he started talking about the children, that the immigrants, the illegal immigrants that brought their kids here, right? And as we all know, many, if not most of those children were handed over by their parents and given to coyotes to bring here. Now, it was amazing to me to find out this morning how many people had no idea what a coyote was. Now, if you live anywhere near a border town, you certainly know what a coyote is. If you live in reality, you pretty much know what coyotes are. You'd have to live almost in a cave not to have ever heard what a coyote is, or gone to find out what a coyote is before you say something. Now, some people, let me get this working. Some people who kind of said something was David Hogg here. Now, David Hogg, remember, is just got accepted into Harvard, right? He said, imagine calling the immigrant parents that bring their children to the United States for a better life coyotes. The level of xenophobia is sickening. The level of stupidity from David Hogg, who is just got accepted to Harvard, is amazing. It's totally amazing. Trump wasn't even talking about the parents. He was saying that the coyotes brought them over. And we all know that that's true. I didn't know what a coyote was until I was 39 years old, Monique said. Who built the cages, Trump. And I love that. And of course, Welker would not follow up on that and say, no, that's not what a coyote is. That's partially what a coyote is if you're talking about, animals. But if you're not talking about animals and you're talking about the animals that bring people across the border, those are called coyotes. So anyway, she wouldn't follow up and say, oh, did you put kids in cages, Joe? Did Obama put kids in cages? Absolutely didn't follow up on that at all. And Trump said, let's ask him. Let's ask Joe. But of course, Joe's not going to get that question. Come to New Mexico to learn about coyotes. Yeah, it was a mic drop night all night long. Stephanie said it was a mic drop night. It truly was. Trump did so good. Also, Hogg said, I'm going to be so mad when I wake up tomorrow and every channel is talking about how Trump is finally acting presidential with his new tone for what feels like the 8 billionth damn time. Oh. Anyway, so there's your future. And I even saw some guy who on his profile picture looked like an older man, said, oh, keep up the good work. You kids are going to save the country and the world. I don't know. We live in a different world, I guess, because I don't see that. But you know what? That's just me. That's my opinion. And also, Joe, I noticed that, the Democrats, I tell you, we should all be upset by the fact that we have constantly 24/7 been manipulated by the liberal left globalists. They do nothing but total manipulation. For example, Joe saying it's we're going to face a dark winter. Where'd you get that, Joe? Where did you get that? Yes, Cully, that's the same David Hogg. Where do you get that? It's a gloom and doom. Like, okay, people, everybody's going to die, and you need to turn to the Democrat. I'll take care of it. Joe's like, I'll take care of it. Turn to us. We're the only ones who can save you. That's the message. The press was saying Biden won, where they're watching the same debate. Trump clearly won. Yeah, Living Grace, Melanie, everybody said that. Kids are the future until it's now, then they're the past, but for now, they're both. Yeah, okay. I think they should be censored. Yeah. These kids don't even know what a garbage disposal is. We've got to get some Republican influence in the debates, Rue said. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Again, you have a liberal globalist party that is all about death It's all about gloom and doom. It's all about, poverty, starvation, struggling. There's no positive message at all. Yeah. Barbara said, well, anything worse than a coyote is a wild hog. There you go, Barbara. Um, and so these are the same people that manipulate you every day and tell you that if you don't wear a mask, you're going to die. If you don't wear a mask, then you don't love grandma. All broadcast companies are progressive. Yep, they are. Rocky, that's for sure. And so I guess the message is, when you hear people talking to you, look and see where the message is coming from. Before you get panicked as to, oh my gosh, this is all bad and we're all going to die, and COVID's going to kill everyone. Who's telling you the message? That's the issue that you need to ask yourself, because the message coming from the left is dark and dismal. Have local news anchors do the presidential debates. Brian, they're just as biased. Yeah, grandma's not wearing a mask. Grandma shouldn't wear her mask, unless grandma is sick herself, and then grandma could stay home. She has a choice to do that. Let's see. It was great too that President Trump brought up the fact that Joe had received like $3.5 million from Russia. That was really good. Now, one of the things that President Trump brought up, and I will have to say, President Trump was wrong about this. I did a fact check, and Joe was right. During the debate, President Trump said to Joe, he was talking about black people and what Joe was like, I've done everything for black people. Black people they don't know how good they have it because until they had me. And President Trump said, you called in 1994, you called black people super spreaders. Okay. Hey, Christine, that turns out that that's not true. Oh, let me go ahead. We're at the halfway point. Please share. Thank you, Gary, for reminding me. Your followers again, if you will, and then I'll continue my thought here. So he said, you called all of these black people super spreaders, and that was or super predators. Sorry. Thank you, Renee. Super predators back in 1994. Well, he didn't. That was actually Hillary who referred to black people, because she was talking about criminals and thugs on the street. And you could, people thought and interpreted that to mean black people that she was talking about. But here's what Joe did. Okay. And this is where Joe called them predators on our street. He never called them super predators. And he said they were beyond the pale. And this was in a 1993 speech. People were really offended then at his choice of words, because they knew, since Biden's word choice, this is CNN now, okay? Biden's word choice could also pose a problem with a new generation of Democrats who view the rhetoric at the time as perpetuating harmful myths about the black community. And so Joe, he said, we have predators on our streets as society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect created. And he said that he has referred to it over the years. He wanted a Biden bill to get these people off the streets. He said they're beyond the pale, many of those people beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. And in this speech, he said there's a cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now, because if we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. He was criminals, Max. I know you want to help Joe here. Trump was talking about criminals when he talks about, Joe was talking about black people. You've never heard President Trump refer to Black people in any way but a respectful manner. When he talks about thugs, he's typically talking about MS-13. Yep, that speech is on video, and Trump should use it. Yeah. But you know what? It's okay, because everybody, you can just look it up. And you can look it up and you can see that it's CNN saying those things. So if you don't believe anybody else and your only source is to check CNN out, then you got it. You got it right there. Thank you, Christine. Wait, that came from CNN. Yep, CNN. President Trump won the NAACP award years ago, Bayman said. Yeah, I mean, the people really, they're so in for Joe. I mean, now they're coming in and calling me names, because see, if you can't win, what you do is you call people names. That's what you do. And that's what we're having with the people coming in, because they know what I'm telling them is the truth, and they don't want to hear the truth because the truth is too painful. If President Trump had ever said that, I would have it here. And that's, that's what I would do. I would have it here. If Trump had ever said anything like that. See, what people don't understand when they when they sit there and they talk about how President Trump is a racist, whatever. He dated a Black woman for 2 years. He's put Black people up in his Trump hotel who were homeless and poor and needed a place to go. That doesn't sound like a racist guy who hates Black people to me. I'm just saying. Name calling is a sign of a lack of intelligence, Stephanie said. Yep, unfortunately. And it shows that you have lost. You don't have an argument. You've lost it. You know about that you've lost it. And that's the only thing you can do. We love you. Stay safe, all. Thank you, Dark Knight. And also, one of the things, Joe kept talking about, again, we don't have Obamacare, but we're going to have Biden care. Woo. And he also lied again about the fact that he never said he didn't want fracking. So President Trump put it up there for him. And again, clinging as much as he can to every lie that he had. And it's a shame that people too, that, and I guess people want to, people want to see things the way they want to see them. They don't want to see the reality. I guess you just have a rose-colored glasses on is what you want. Let's see. I'm looking here at something. Yeah. All right. The truth will hit the trolls very soon. Well, let's hope so. It's always good to have the truth. It really is. Biden care scared me when he said it. Yeah. If you thought Obamacare was bad, then if Biden gets his way, and if he God forbid, got elected, and you put in Biden care, you would be lucky to get anything. Yeah, truth wins. Hopefully, truth will win in the end. We know. Shalom from our log cabin. Oh, hi, Ken. That sounds good. Is it cool weather in Tennessee right now? Let's see. Chessie said, can you imagine being on Biden care? He'd sell us out to China. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'd have the same care that China has. Wouldn't that be great? That'd be wonderful. All right. Let's see. So I was listening also too. There's kind of a new theory that's being bantered about by people of what they're going to do if, in fact, Joe would win. And, if Joe wins, they say, he's going to resign pretty much right away. Kamala will take over as president. And I always thought that what she would do is probably get Gavin Newsom, because that's her bud, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. But there are other people saying that they think what will happen is that she would pick Bernie Sanders to be her vice president. And if that happens, she's very progressive. He's extremely progressive. They're both socialists and progressives. And they would have a cabinet filled with people like Ilhan Omar, AOC, Ayanna Presley. That would be the norm. Kamala was in those, yeah. But we don't, the thing of it is, and I'll talk about that in a second, Cully. So I don't know, if the Democrats would wake up, if they saw that happening, like the Democrats who've actually gone out and voted, let's say for Joe, what is going to wake you up? Do you want to be a progressive? Do you want to be a socialist? No, they don't have some okay ideas. No, they don't. A bad draw. They don't. Then we are moving to Costa Rica. Yeah. That would be just an amazing, horrible thing to watch, that our country, Nancy would be out. That would be, the only good thing. Nancy, Nadler, Schiff, they would all be out. I think Trump has played them in a way to take them all down. We see they are all corrupt and broke. Well, and one of the things too, like Cully had brought up, when they had that guy that came out and spoke, Tom, it's easier just to say Tom, the old partner of supposed partner of Hunter Biden, he said that he was the CEO. He claims that, Joe knew everything about it. Joe was there. He was introduced to Joe. Hunter was there. All these people were there. He was told, let's keep Joe's name out of the public. Don't put it in writing, on and on and on. And I had, the whole time I had a feeling that when I was listening to him, Tony Bobulinski, a veteran of the U.S. Navy and alleged former business partner of Hunter Biden, I had a feeling that Hunter and maybe Joe picked this guy because they thought that he was, and I don't know why I feel this way, but they felt like this guy was a dummy that was going to go along with what they were doing. I really feel that that's what happened. And, he was a friend, and they thought, oh, he was in the bag for Joe. He'll do whatever he's told. No problems. The guy's got 3 phones he's going to hand over to the FBI. I only pray that the guy has copies in some way. Yeah, pushover. I hope he has copies so that they don't get, wiped clean over there at the FBI. And I hope he made it through the night. I hope he survived, because, with information like what he says he has, holy cow is all I can say. He could take out a number of different people. But they also found, supposedly, an email sent by Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden's brother, Jim, to Hunter Biden and others regarding a potential business venture with a now bankrupt Chinese conglomerate. And it included people who were like at the top of the list of prominent Democrats that they were going to maybe go out and try to bring in. I moved to Costa Rica too, but I have news for everyone. Costa Rica is peaceful, but similar to socialism. Yes. Yes, it is. But anyway, so these were a list of prominent Democrats. They were going to try to get to be, I guess, investors or come along with them. Who knows? But one of them was Senator Kamala Harris. Also, Amy Klobuchar was on that list. Dianne Feinstein was on that list. Kirsten Gillibrand, Andrew Cuomo, Mayor de Blasio, and Terry McAuliffe. These people are always all in bed with each other. They keep it all in the family. And as you know, as we've talked about, Kamala was groomed a long time ago to come in and be the president. She was groomed under Obama to do that. A lot of people put money towards her to do that. This is their candidate and who they want. But we don't know that Kamala did anything illegal. We don't know yet if Joe and Hunter did anything illegal, but that's something that's going to have to be, found out by the FBI and DOJ, and hopefully very soon. And if people did do something illegally, I hope people are taken away in handcuffs. It would really be great. They're playing a dangerous game, Ruth said. Lord help us, Stephanie said. Yeah. Trump was saying socialized medicine. When I lived in Vermont, all the Canadians came to us to get medical care. Socialized medicine is socialized medicine is so bad. God continues to use our president to expose corrupt leaders. Keep praying Nancy will lose the election. She won't, Living Grace. It would take a miracle. Not to say there can't be one, but it would take a miracle. We will see cities, sorry, only if he lives long enough, Patrick Conley said. Just gets deeper. Yep. It's probably been going on for years. Well, it has. All of that we are seeing has been going on for years. I mean, we were living life not knowing what these people were like. Two things. I know it's getting time for Bible time. I got like a minute. Please go read my article today at susanknowles.com talking about Congress. The second thing really quickly is, I don't know if you saw the recent article about what Pope Francis recently did. For all of you who are Catholics, this should scare you. For all of you who are not Catholics, this should scare you. Pope Francis has declared support for civil unions for same-sex couples. Now, you may say, well, what's wrong with that? Well, if you're biblically oriented, everything is wrong with that. If you are biblically oriented, what does that say? Does that say, does this go towards the end times? Are we seeing more of any antichrist spirits starting to come upon the scene? Is it Catholic Church doing this because they're losing members or losing money, pressure from society? I don't know. So it's something for you to ponder. If you haven't seen that, there's supposedly a documentary. I think it was released in Rome on Wednesday. It's supposed to be released here, I believe, and it's called Francesco, or I guess it's Francesco. I know Catholics and they think it's not true. No, it is true, Renee. It is true. It's not a smear. It's true, and I have verified that it is true by people who would know. So it's true. That Pope is a joke, and if Catholics follow him, they're in trouble. Well, they've got no choice but to follow him. They could get rid of him. Their bishops could, but they won't. So, but if that isn't end time stuff, I don't know what is. Okay. I think we left off on chapter 10. The RCC propagates a false gospel, so nothing it does surprises me, Nanette says. We're Revelation chapter 10, the mighty angel with the little book. I saw still another mighty angel coming down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was on his head. His face was like the sun, and his feet like pillars of fire. He had a little book open in his hand, and he set his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land, and cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roars. When he cried out, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Now when the 7 thunders uttered their voices, I was about to write, but I heard a voice from heaven saying to me, seal up the things which the 7 thunders uttered, and do not write them. The angel whom I saw standing on the sea and on the land raised up his hand to heaven and swore by him who lives forever and ever, who created heaven and the things that are in it, the earth and the things that are in it, and the sea and the things that are in it. And there should be delay no longer, but in the days of the sounding of the 7th angel, when he is about to sound, the mystery of God would be finished, as he declared to his servants, the prophets. Let me get rid of this really quickly. All right. John eats the little book. Then the voice which I heard from heaven spoke to me again and said, go take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel who stands on the sea and on the earth. So I went to the angel and said to him, give me the little book. And he said to me, take and eat it, and it will make your stomach bitter, and it will be as sweet as honey in your mouth. Then I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it, and it was sweet as honey in my mouth. But when I had eaten it, my stomach became bitter. And he said to me, you must prophesy again about many peoples, nations, tongues, and kings. The 2 witnesses, chapter 11. Then I was given a reed like a measuring rod, and the angel stood, saying, rise and measure the temple of God, the altar, and those who worship there. But leave out the court, which is outside the temple, and do not measure it, for it has been given to the Gentiles, and they will tread the holy city underfoot for 42 months. And I will give power to my 2 witnesses, and they will prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth. These are the 2 olive trees and the 2 lampstands standing before the God of the earth. And if anyone wants to harm them, fire proceeds from their mouth and devours their enemies. And if anyone wants to harm them, he must be killed in this manner. these have power to shut heaven so that no rain falls in the day of their prophecy. And they have power over waters to turn them to blood and to strike the earth with all plagues as often as they desire. The witness is killed. When they finish their testimony, the beast that ascends out of the bottomless pit will make war against them, overcome them, and kill them. And their dead bodies will lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Then those from the peoples, tribes, tongues, and nations will see their dead bodies 3.5 days and not allow their bodies to be put into graves. And those who dwell on the earth will rejoice over them, make merry, and send gifts to one another, because these two prophets tormented those who dwell on the earth. The witness is resurrected. Now, after the 3.5 days, the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and great fear fell on those who saw them. And they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, "Come up here." And they ascended to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies saw them. In the same hour, there was a great earthquake, and 1/10 of the city fell. In the earthquake, 7,000 people were killed, and the rest were afraid and gave glory to the God of heaven. The second woe is past. Behold, the third woe is coming quickly. Seventh trumpet, the kingdom proclaimed. Then the seventh angel sounded, and there were loud voices in heaven saying, "The kingdoms of this world have become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever." And the 24 elders who sat before God on their thrones fell on their faces and worshiped God, saying, "We give you thanks, O Lord God Almighty, the one who is and who was and who is to come, because you have taken your great power and reigned. The nations were angry, and your wrath has come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that you should reward your servants, the prophets and the saints, and those who fear your name, small and great, and should destroy those who destroy the earth." Yeah, it is quite a vision, isn't it, Rue? That's your favorite verse. Okay, cool. Then the temple of God was opened in heaven, and the ark of his covenant was seen in his temple, and there were lightnings, noise, thunderings, an earthquake, and great hail. The woman, the child, and the dragon, chapter 12. Now a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a garland of 12 stars. Then, being with child, she cried out in labor and in pain to give birth. And another sign appeared in heaven. Behold, a great fiery and red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 diadems on his heads. His tail drew 1/3 of the stars of heaven and threw them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, who was ready to give birth, to devour her child as soon as it was born. She bore a male child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up to God and his throne. Then the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. While I'm thinking about it, don't want to forget it, I read an article from Pope Benedict, the previous pope to this one, who had written an article previously to what is happening with the pope now. And the article basically said that anybody who would talk about this bring upon the same-sex marriage, that was from the Antichrist. You can look that up. Satan thrown out of heaven. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought, but they did not prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old, called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Then I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, "Now salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ have come. For the accuser of our brethren, who accused them before our God day and night, has been cast down, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to the death. Therefore rejoice, O heavens, and you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea." Daniel, you're really late. "For the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time." Make sure you listen to the replay, Danielle, on about Monday. Okay. One last paragraph. The woman persecuted. Now, when the dragon saw that he had been cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman who gave birth to the male child. But the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, and that she might fly into the wilderness to her place where she is nourished for a time and times and a half a time from the presence of the serpent. So the serpent spewed water out of his mouth like a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away by the flood. But the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon had spewed out of its mouth. And the dragon was enraged with the woman, and he went to make war with the rest of her offspring, who kept the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to show you this one more time for those who came in late, in case you want to see this. This is a wall swag for everybody this is a Christmas wall swag that I just made. Wanted to share with everybody. I think you can probably see it. Hopefully you can see it pretty well. This can go anywhere, above a mantle, on the wall, above a picture, anywhere for Christmas. Also for the people that, thank you, Susan. Thank you, Danielle. For those people who came in late, also Monday, hey, Clara, Monday we are going to be on YouTube, D Live, Facebook only. We won't be doing Periscope. Hey, Chicago Pops. We won't be doing Periscope on Monday at the regular time. So at the regular time, please go to my YouTube channel, Susan Knowles, or you can go to Cloud Hub. Probably better to go to YouTube. Go over there today. Please subscribe. Please click on the bell to get notifications. We're going to have a special guest on Monday. Please have questions. Please show up. For the special guest. It's going to be a woman from a pregnancy resource center. So any questions that you want to ask her, anything that you want to know about what she does, about the people, anything and everything, please be there ready to ask questions. And most importantly, please be there. I'm looking forward to Monday's show. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, Monique. I want to make our guests, I've told the guests so much about you guys, about how most people in here are Christians, conservatives, Republicans. She's looking forward to being here. I'm looking forward to her seeing everybody here and getting the questions from everybody and knowing, who we have and what kind of group we are. And who knows, maybe, maybe she'd want to join our group. I don't know. Sherry said, whoops. That's gorgeous wall swag, perfect for Christmas. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. All right, everybody. God bless you. Please retweet this. Thank you for coming here today. We'll see you on Monday. God bless you. Please share. Take care.